This episode of Logan Chopped Reviews is sponsored in part by Ion Games. It's in our nature. The Giveaway Geek. The Getting Geeky with Game Relief podcast. Welcome to Logan Chopped Reviews. I'm Logan, and I'm here with Gothylocks, and this is PopCats Fighter by NinjaBot LLC. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the prototype we have here, show you the cards, set up, and play maybe a couple rounds and everything, show you how the game works a little bit, try to get through it as quickly as we can. We're trying to change up the format a little bit, so we're going to try this out, see how people like it. So here's the box. It's got a magnetic lid. Let me move this back a little bit so you can see it snaps right there. Got the magnetic lid. You can see the inside of the lid where it has all the characters there, because this is set up to look like a 1980s retro kind of arcade fighting game. You can see you got the choose your character select screen, and then the front of the box, the top layer, looks like an old arcade with a little lever. In this game, you assume the role of a PopCat, and you're going to go head to head with another player to play some cards, do some moves, try to whoop on them, play some blocking and everything. So you see it's got the 1v1 and 2v2, because this can be played for teams, but as it is right now, it's just going to be one-on-one for me and Gothy. But we still use both of these. It's just an aesthetic setup to look like the old arcade setup. So the back side of these are your meters that you will have to keep track of your cards, because certain moves that are successful will go here face down, and you'll move your meter track up and down right here. So I'm going to take one, and I'm going to give the other one to Gothy, and we'll explain how that works in a minute. The piece right here, you can see, goes in the middle of the table to designate who is on which side, and these little exclamation marks that you can see right here are where you play your instant cards, which you're allowed to play one instant card per turn, unless cards specify otherwise. And they got the little dots here, which is where you track your moves, because one game consists of the best out of 3 rounds. So if you win, you'll put tokens here to keep track of, okay, you won that match, on to the next match, maybe somebody else or the other player won the other match. Either or. So we're going to set this in the middle of the table. We'll get there. This little tray lifts out right here. Go ahead and put that to the side. And we'll get to the tracking right here. On these screens, as you can see, it's got a number of lives at the top and a number of hits. Because each life you have equates to 3 hits. So you can see we've got a total of 27 hits right here. And this slider, actually, let's move this over here, actually slides out so you can keep track during the game of your health bar, how many hits you've taken, how many lives you've lost. You can, either way you choose to do it, you can start off, let me put this back in here. You can start off at 0 and work your way up. This way, keeping track of hits, or you can start at 27 and, get in camera, work your way down that way. That's the way I prefer to do it. So we'll give one of these to Gothy, and I'll take the other one for myself. And there's 4 of them in the box, because it can be played with up to 4 players. Here's those win tokens I was telling you about that you have to put on the boards to keep track of wins. There's also in here some the sliders that you're going to use on your meter board to keep track of where your meter is, because that's what you'll use for your special moves that your character has. You got a special move and a mega move, or a super move and a mega move. So go ahead and put those on our meters at 0. And give the other one over here to Gothy. We'll put this bag off to the side for a minute. We've already picked our characters and looked through them. Gothy will be playing a Puma. Now, there's 8 different characters in the box, if I remember correctly when I was looking through it. Your character has a little card right here. It's got your name. She's playing a Puma. And it's got your little special ability that your character has. Let's see, a Puma says, your attack moves with directional cards cannot be Kitten Blocked, which we'll get to in a minute. So other than your character card, you also have 2 special moves. Let's see, Gothy right here is going to have the super move, which she gets a reward. She gets to draw 2 cards when the move goes through. She'll remove 5 cards from her meter to activate it, and it does 5 hits of damage at the end turn whenever damages are done. And also, Puma has the Mega move, which she can remove 11 cards from her meter and do 13 hits worth of damage. So each character card has 2 special moves with it, a super move and a mega move. I'll be playing Clawfang. right here, which for every 4 hits that I successfully land on an opponent, I heal 2 hits at the end of the turn. That's it. His just regular character ability. He also has the super move of you get a reward. It says counter hits do not affect you this turn. I can remove 6 cards from my meter and do 4 hits of damage. And the mega move of removing 10 cards from my meter and doing 11 hits of damage. And there's a bunch of other characters with their special moves and everything. So other than getting that, let's put the rest of these characters back in the box here. You've got different power-ups. And they do different abilities. So everybody will have their characters at the beginning of the game with their moves. Let's go ahead and give Gothy her characters and moves over here. And I've got mine. And you just set them up on the table right next to each other. And then you shuffle the different power-ups. Power-ups will go underneath your character card with the little ability showing. Because it's like an extra character ability that you can have. See this one right here says you get an extra action on your attacking turn. I know this one Gothy likes the most. Let's see right here. Draw an extra card whenever you play. Draw 2 cards as one of your actions. So for the beginning of the game, you go ahead and shuffle these up. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. And everybody chooses one randomly. So go ahead and fan these out so Gothy can take one. She's going to grab that one there. I'll grab this one right here. Okay, what power up did you get?
My power up is my mega move costs 2 cards less to use.
Oh, nice. I've got this power up. Says once per turn, you may discard 2 cards from your hand into the discard pile and draw 2 new cards. So that goes underneath my character card. You'll see that are set up. And then we'll take out this big stack of cards here. These are the main deck. Well, we've got 4 setup cards everybody has, and tells you how to set up the game, playing the game, going through the turn actions, which we'll go through in a little bit, and what actions you can do on there. And it's also got a quick rules reference right there, so you don't have to flip back through the rule book with the little icons up here to remind everybody what they do. So I'll give Gothy one of those, and I'll take one. And the other 2 we'll go ahead and put back into the box right here. Now these are the main cards of the game, and they have a different kind of cards. I'll go ahead and show you. And the icons are on the little card right here. This little burst symbol right here is the hit symbol. And this counts as a hit whenever you're doing an attack, a hit. And you see the little icon it's got down here. This signifies that it is a pounce. And you can see the icon is in the general outline of what the picture is right there. So, and the symbol over here means that this goes in a 1 versus 1 deck because there's only 1 cat there. And then it's got a little ability. It says 3 hits of damage. So there's different hit cards like that. Let me find one of the directional cards. Let's see, like this. So just like if you were playing like an arcade game, you know, when you're doing it and you're pressing the button to do hits and you're moving your joystick, there's also directional cards that you can play either by themselves to do damage, which is right there in the spot right here. And it also says it right here. See, it says 3 damage there, and it says 3 hits of damage. So they correspond. But you actually see the directional button right there. This has an arrow facing up because it is a jump. Ta-da! So you'd hit up on the joystick to jump. You know, so the aesthetics are for arcades like that. And you could play these either whenever you're doing an attack. You could play your hit card alone, or you could play your directional card alone as an attack, or this is a valid attack right here, where you play them together. 1 hit card and 1 directional card together as 1 attack as a whole. So right there, this would be a pounce and a leap. So this would be a total of 6 hits, 3 from the pounce, 3 from the jump right there. And they go together like that. Now, you could also use one of your special moves as an attack, like we were talking about there, by discarding from your meter the amount of cards and your hit. That counts as an attack. And then there's also blocking cards, which have the shield at the top right here. And some of them will have different abilities. You see right here, this is a counter, and it lets you basically redirect damage. You can play an attack card on it whenever you counter the other opponent's abilities. Let's find another block card right here. Say Kitten Block. You see it's got the block symbol right there. And it's got the little paw shield, which is just the same as in there. Kitten Block. And it blocks 3 points of damage, but it cannot block moves from throw cards. So the card that's named Throw, you cannot Kitten Block that card with this one. So what other cards are there? There are instant cards. You're only allowed to play 1 instant card a turn, and an instant card is signified by the exclamation mark right there. You can see this one is a Purrserker. And usually instant cards have special abilities that'll take effect for that turn. And when they're played, when you play once per turn, they're played on your side. Let's say I'm playing the red corner over here. If I were to play my card, I would put it on the table right here next to the exclamation mark to show that I played that card. Usually you can only play 1 instant card a turn, but sometimes, you know, different abilities let you play more. There's one other kind of card in here, and I'm trying to see if I can find it. I should have set this up beforehand. And they are move enhancers, and they're signified by the flask right here. And you see it's got the little kitty face that corresponds right here. This one is a taunt. Move enhancers are played next to attack cards, and they activate and they enhance the different attacks and moves that happen. You can see this one right here, taunt. This affects all of your attacking moves played, and the opponent must block those cards with a kitten block first before being able to play any other defend cards on them. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle up. One more thing to show you before shuffling up is they got this other stack of cards right here in the box. These are for the second player. So if you're playing, teams 2v2, you know, the 2 players on one team, 2 players on another team, you would actually shuffle these cards up and in with the 1 player cards and deal out to the opponent, or deal out to every player. So every player starts with 8 cards. We're going to go ahead and get this set up and show you PopCats Fighter. Okay, so we're all set up. Say we each have 8 cards. At the beginning of the game, you shuffle out 8 cards after you shuffle the deck, you deal out 8 cards to each player. And then you get to choose who's playing first, so I will be going first. Ta-da! Happy birthday. At first, there's the attacking phase, where you get 4 actions during your attacking phase. And then after that, there's the defense phase, where the opposing player gets 4 actions. And then there's possibly a response phase, depending on what the defender does during their turn. So your actions that you can do for your 4 actions, and this is the same for attacking and defense, but one of them changes in the defense phase, is you can play attack moves, and it's 1 action per attack. You can play a move enhancer. You can play an instant card, or you can draw 2 cards, or you can do what's called burn 2 cards, where you would discard 1 card face down, and then put another one from your hand onto your meter, which raises your meter level up. Your meter starts at 0 at the beginning of the game, which we got a little token things in there. Got my meter over there. So for starting out, let's go ahead and do some action. So for my first action, I'm actually going to draw 2 cards. So 1, 2. Look at this. All right. For my second action, I'm going to play an attack. I'm going to play a claw. It does 4 hits worth of damage. And then I am going to play, second action. Third action, I'm going to play a bite. And then for my fourth action, I'm going to play this instant card right here called Stacks on Stacks, which what it does, it says I may stack a hit card on top of any or all of my attack moves, even if the move has a hit card or a directional card already on it, but you can't attack on special moves. So I get to put another hit card on top of my other cards. So I am going to put a claw on top of the bite. So now it will do an extra 4 damage other than the 2 from the bite. And I will put a pounce on top of this claw here. And that's my fourth action. So now this action right here, this attack, is doing a total of 7 damage, 3 from the pounce, 4 from the claw. This one over here is doing 4 from the claw and 2 from the bite. And the bite also is, if it's successful, if my hits were successful from this attack, I get to draw 2 cards at the end of the turn. So those are my 4 actions. That's my action phase. Then it passes to Gothy to go ahead and do her defense phase. So she'll have the same 4 moves that I have. The move enhancer, the instant cards, the draw 2 cards, or the burn 2 cards. But instead of having an attack move, she will get to play defense or counter cards to my attacks. So go ahead.
Okay. So my first action is going to be draw 2.
Okay.
And then I'm going to play Kitten Block there.
Okay. Kitten Block reduces 3 damage, and but it cannot block hits with the throw card. So neither one of these is a throw, so that's a valid block right there.
And I'm going to do that one to that one.
Okay. Kitten Block also for 3 over here.
So that was 3 actions.
That was 3 actions. You've got 1 more action.
I'll draw 2 more.
We'll draw 2 more cards. All right. Okay. So now, since she did not play a counter card, I do not get a response. In a normal game, if she were to play a counter card, I would get a response where I could play 1 more card, either a defense card or an instant card if I hadn't played one already during the turn, or something to that effect. So, let's see. So we go directly to the end of turn. So end of turn, I total up all my hits and minus whatever from blocks, and then that will be dealt to Gothy. So this Kitten Block right here is blocking 3 hits from this 7 here. So effectively, it blocks these 3 hits from this Pounce card that I played. So now, since this card did not go through and hit her, it is counted as unsuccessful. It gets turned over and placed into discards over here. We can't really see it, but it's in a discard pile over there off to the side. But since this 4 hits actually did hit her, it's counted as successful. So any card that does either partial hits or full hits counts as successful and will go into your metered cards over here. So my metered card goes up by 1. And it'll count towards trying to do my special super moves and mega moves. Sorry, I have to switch from my on the board there. Now, her Kitten Block was successful. It blocked all 3 hits. So that goes into her metered cards there and counts towards going towards her special moves. And some cards actually take effect of your metered cards also. So now my Claw right here, this attack is going to be blocked 3 hits from there. And so it's going to reduce the damage by 3. So I'll have it's going to block 3 hits from my 4 hits on my Claw. So only 1 of them will hit her. So now I've got a total of 5 hits on her. So this is partially successful. Goes into my meter over there. And it raises it up by 1 card. And her block is successful, so it goes over there. And then the bite will deal 2 more hits. So what are we up to? 5 now? Yeah. 2, or is it 5? I lost track of hits. Yeah, it's 4 from that, 1 from there. Well, that's 5, 6, 7. That's a total of 7 hits on you. And so since this bite completely went through, I get to draw 2 cards at the end of the turn, and it goes into my metered card over there. I will draw my 2 cards for that, add them to my hand, make sure my meter shows I've got 3 cards in there, and then that is the end of my turn, and turn passes over to Gothy. Oh, I'm sorry. My instant card that I played right here, instant cards never go to the successful one, never go to your meter. Instant cards always go to the discards, so they are put into the discard pile. Okay.
So for my turn, my first action is going to be playing Litter Toss, which is 5 hits, with the backflip, which is the move.
Yeah, so she's playing a hit card with a directional card on it. The hit card is a Litter Toss for 5, and the backflip deals 2 damage, and she'll be able to draw 2 cards at the end of the turn if it's successful.
And then I'm also going to be playing a Bite with the backflip.
Oh, okay. So Bite is 2 cards, like the one that I played, and she'll draw 2 cards at the end of the turn if it's successful, and also the backflip for another 2 cards.
So that only counts as 2 actions.
So that's 2 actions, yeah, because when you play them together, they count as 1 action. So 1 action, 2 actions.
And then throw. for my third action.
Okay.
And for my fourth action, I'm just going to draw 2 cards.
Okay.
So, all of my cards that have directional
All
cards
attacks
on them can't be blocked by Kitten Block, just like the throw.
Just like the throw. Yeah, because that's a Puma's ability. Any attacks that have the directional moves, which these two do, cannot be used. Kitten Block cannot be used for them. Wonderful. That's good. Okay. So
now you get to block. Now you get to block.
Yeah, now it's my block, so my 4 turn. Okay, so I am going to I'm going to play a combo breaker, which is a block right there. So you play against any 2 attack moves that are next to each other. So these 2 attack moves that are next to each other, I get to avoid damage from one move, but take the damage from the other move and draw 2 cards at the end of my turn. So I will avoid the damage from this move right here, and I will take the damage from the throw. I am also going to play a counter on the litter toss attack, and that lets me avoid damage from one attack, and I get to counter back with one attack move. So I'm going to use my throw move of my own to attack back. I put that on good. And I also get to draw 2 cards at the end of my turn. So that is 2 moves that I have, or 2 actions that I have done out of my 4. I am also going to draw 2 cards as my third action and try to fill up my hand for next turn.
As long as you don't have more than 12.
Yeah. At the end of your turn, you can only have 12 cards in your hand. Any extras you have to discard. I've got 6 in my hand right now. I think I'm going to burn 2 cards. So I will discard 1 card, and I'll put 1 in my meter, which takes it up to 4. All right. And so those are my 4 actions that I have. And so since I played a counter card, Gothy gets a response phase. And for the responses, it doesn't see the rulebook. It's not, the responses aren't actually on the cards, little index cards. Yeah, she can play a defense move, but she cannot play a counter card against the counter move. So she can't counter my counter. She gets to play a move enhancer card if she'd like. She can play an insta card if she hasn't played one already. She can draw 2 cards, or she can burn 2 cards. So it's kind of like a regular move, but you just can't play a counter card or an attack card.
For my response, I'm just going to draw 2.
Draw 2 cards. All right. Okay. So then we go to the end of the turn, which is where she will total up her hits and see what happens. So you usually go from left to right for attacks. So this attack was countered, so I will not take any hits from it there, but my attack move will go back to her. So these cards are unsuccessful, so they will get discarded. My counter card was successful, so we'll go with my metered cards over there, and my throw is successful, so she will take 2 hits from it. And then also from the counter card, I get to draw 2 cards at the end of the turn. Right there. So throw was successful, goes over there. I get to draw my 2 cards. Okay. And then her attacks here will try to resolve, but I'm doing the combo breaker, which I am avoiding the damage from that one, but taking the damage from that one. So these right here do not resolve and go in the discards, but I take the 2 hits from the throw. So my life will go down from 27 to 28. Or, sorry, 27 to 25 right there on my... I can't count. 27 to 25 on my meter right there. And since it was successful, I get to draw 2 cards at the end of my turn from Combo Breaker, and that card also goes into my metered cards over there. So let me draw those 2 cards. And then I'm going to check, because I lost count how many cards are in my meter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in my meter. And make sure my meter shows that right there. All right. Then we check at the end of the turn for cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 cards in my hand. How many do you have?
9.
9. All right. So we're both below 12. And then it will be my turn now. So let's go ahead. Let's see. Yeah, let's do some action going on right here. Okay. So I'm going to activate for my first action. I'm going to activate my super move right here. So I remove 6 cards from my meter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 1 card still left in my meter there. So 6 cards from my meter, and this attack will do 4 hits there. And I get a reward for activating it that counter hits do not affect me this turn. So if she plays any counters with attack cards on them, those hits will not affect me this turn. So that was my first action. Second action, I will play a claw with a prowl on it. That is a total of 6 hits. And it said moves with this card cannot be countered with the prowl. So that's 2 moves. Let's see, action number 3, I'm going to draw 2 cards. 1, 2. And then action number 4, I will play another claw attack. Oh, that's my 4 actions. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm going to draw 2 first.
Mm-hmm.
What was the block thing again?
As a counter hits do not affect me this turn. So if you play a counter that has you get to play the extra attack hits, those hits will not hit me.
Okay. So I will play special move block.
Right.
Avoid damage from a special move or any one attack move. Draw 2 cards at the end of the turn.
Okay.
And then I'm going to play combo break.
All right.
So that was 3, correct?
You drew 2 at first?
Yes.
Yeah. So 2, or 1, 2, 3.
And then I'm going to discard or burn.
Okay.
Add to my meter.
All right. So she didn't play a counter card, so I don't get a response, and we go straight to the end of the turn. See, my super move right here, since she did a combo move, does not score hits on her, and she gets to draw 2 cards. So I'm going to move that back there, and so it wasn't successful. But her special move was successful in blocking it, so she gets to put it there, and she gets to draw the 2 cards for that one. Her combo break. Go ahead, and you're blocking this one and taking this one?
Yes.
Okay, so she blocks this right here in my claw, so these are not successful, do not hit her, so they get discarded, and she will take 4 from the claw, and since this was successful, you get to draw the 2 cards from there, and it goes into your metered. This will go into my metered cards right there, since it was successful in hitting you. So I have 2 cards on my meter. And my character's special ability triggers for every 4 hits you successfully land on your opponent. You get to heal 2 hits at the end of the turn. So since I landed 4, I get to heal 2 hits, and I am back up to, was it 27? Was I at 25 or 24? I was at 25. Yeah, so I'm at 27. I'm at full life from landing those hits. All right, and so that's your basic gameplay for PopCats Fighter. You keep going back and forth till one of you is at 0 life. Whenever that happens, whoever is the winner gets one of those little yellow tokens, win tokens. Let me pop these out of the box right here. Gets one of these little yellow win tokens to go ahead and stick on their thing. Let's just say that I won. Ding! Yep, win. And then you play another round. You shuffle everything up. You keep the same power-up that you have on your character. And you shuffle all the cards back up. Deal out 8. Do it again. And it's the best 2 out of 3. So let's go ahead and get to the review. As you can see from the gameplay, PopCats Fighter by NinjaBot, LLC, is an awesome strategic, all-out release the Furry cat fighting card game. It really reminds me of the old arcade games with different moves you can do, and it's just awesome. We really enjoyed it. The mechanics are fun. The cards are exciting. You get to play your different moves, and you even get to retaliate against some of the counters that your opponent does. It's got a really good retro feel. The artwork is awesome. So go ahead and check it out. It's for 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up. Plays in about 30 to 45 minutes, and it'll be coming to Kickstarter on August 6th. So go ahead and make sure you check out PopCats Fighter. I'm Logan for Logan Chops Reviews. Make sure you check out our sponsors. Their links will be in the description below and on the end card at the end of the video. And go over to our Facebook page to show us some love there. And we'll see you next time. Happy gaming.